Unleashed to Lead community. This is Gary Hibbs, and I am thrilled to be with you. And the word from the chair for this week that we're going to be considering this coming Sunday at 7:30 is honesty. You know, it is hard to find the truth, to figure out what the truth is. And it just feels like in the last year or so, with the proliferation of AI, artificial intelligence, I mean, you can't even look at a video anymore and see right away if it's real. We're starting to get better at it. But, you know, what is the truth? What is honesty? It seems like everything and everybody is on spin control, you know, from social media to making ourselves look better than we really are, all of that kind of thing. You know, it's about image. And I know that for me, for so much of my life, I was about that image, you know, my reputation. Reputation is only who people think you are, not necessarily who you are. Your character from the inside out is who you really are. Brené Brown has talked a lot about this, you know, in her shame research, where she says, you know, the important thing in life is really to live wholeheartedly. That is with integrity. You know, an integer is a whole number. And are we living in integrity? If a building isn't full of integrity, it's going to crash. Cracks are going to come to the building. And, you know, we know from Scripture that is a prison to live with dishonesty. You know, John 8:32 says, the truth shall what? Set you free. The truth shall set you free. And it is really a fool in his or her folly who doesn't live in truth. Eventually it's going to catch up with us. There's a proverb, 14:8. Let me read it to you. It says, the wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. Deceit. You know, I don't know about you, but when I am living wholeheartedly, I'm much more confident. I've heard a definition of confidence is when you can trust yourself. You know, do you live with the truth inside of yourself? Is who you are on the inside the same as who you are on the outside? And again, for so long in my life, I was hiding. I was trying to do spin control. You know, I was trying to make people think I was something that I may not have been. And it's really acting. And acting is exhausting. I mean, if you're wearing a mask and people love you, they're only loving the mask. They're not necessarily loving you. I've heard it said that you're only loved to the extent that you're truly known. So I'd ask you, and we're going to talk about this on Sunday, is honesty. What does it mean to you? Have you had a breakthrough in your life where you've learned to really be honest? Because when you're honest, as the scripture says, you're free. And honesty really is the first step to recovery in the recovery world. You know, you have to be honest and open and willing to change. But the only way you can change is if you're honest with yourself. And, you know, one of the most profound questions that God asks us in Scripture, it's in Genesis at the very beginning. He says, where are you? Where are you? Are you honest about where you really are? So I'd ask you to consider that and come join us Sunday at 7:30, only for 30 minutes. And the Unleashed community comes together and we consider things that really matter. So I hope to see you there. We had a great discussion this past Sunday on leadership. Really enjoyed that. And we had 20-some people come together and talk about that. So let's consider honesty. And I look forward to seeing you. Come join us. Thanks.